Dumping me and endorsing TINUBU will end your political careers. ATIKU threatens WIKE G5 governors. Wow. So this issue of the G5 governors being in the UK to discuss who to support is still making waves. And this shows that PDP is still shaking. Everybody is waiting to see the outcome of this meeting in the UK. All right. And though news is coming out gradually that they are likely to support Peter Obi as against TINUBU, because the agenda is that presidency must come to the south. So that means ATIKU is out of the equation. All right. So between the south, we have TINUBU and Peter Obi contesting. TINUBU has a Muslim ticket and promising to continue the agenda of Buhari, and that is a Fulanization agenda. And that is where there's also a challenge there. So Peter Obi is more of the southern presidential candidate that has a balanced table, having fielded a Muslim as a running mate. So we now have Muslim Christian or Christian Muslim ticket in Labour Party. And again, Peter Obi being a southerner as well, and a new breed, all right, in the presidential race. Everybody wants to have Peter Obi as the president. So now ATIKU is coming out to say or to threaten the G5 governors and WIKE himself that endorsing TINUBU ahead and leaving him is going to end their political careers. How is that going to happen? Let's see what he has to say further on that. Presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, yesterday warned the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike and his embittered colleague governors in the party against their alleged plot to dump him for a rival presidential candidate, saying any such decision would end their political careers. How will that happen? Or is he going to do it by himself? This is as the 5 dissenting governors were selected in Abia State Wednesday, all right, to participate in the 2022 edition of the Igbo International Christmas Retreat slated to hold in Umuahia, Abia State. Speaking through one of his campaign spokesman, Senator Dino Melaye, Atiku affirmed that no envy or blackmail would detract him from his aspiration towards winning the presidency next February. He therefore warned that no blackmail, hate, or outrageous envy will stop Atiku. I pray it is not true. G5 governors' imminent endorsement of their preferred candidate. Attacking Atiku will cost them their political future. So Atiku is speaking through his spokesperson, Senator Dino Melaye. All right, and that is what he's saying here. There's no amount of blackmail, no amount of hate speech or outrageous envy will stop Atiku from achieving his aim. All right, the truth of the matter is that Atiku is desperate, just like TINUBU is desperate, and it's quite unfortunate that if any of them wins, it's going to be a hot one for Nigeria. All right, yes, somebody. So Dino Melaye is saying further, you don't fight a man who has done nothing to provoke you. Atiku's only offense is that he won a presidential primary transparently and openly. No man should play God. It is too late to stop Atiku. They should have a rethink while they can. Atiku will be president because the people have decided. Who are the people that have decided? The only PDP people have decided, or only the Hausas have decided. The truth is that you cannot have a Fulani currently in power in the person of Buhari, all right? And then by the time he's finishing after 8 years, another Fulani is taking over, retaining power in the north. That is actually not a good one. So in that regard, Wike is correct. The G5 governors are correct. Power has to shift to the south and not remain in the north. That is the truth. So it's unfortunate that Atiku is desperate and TINUBU is desperate. And we cannot continue to have, and these two people are old, they don't have much to offer again, and they are not the kind of breed that we want as president for Nigeria this time around. So there is nothing there, all right? There's nothing there. Nobody has decided. If anybody is speaking for himself. Let's be frank about that. We know we have a lot of gullible Nigerians that are following both TINUBU and Atiku. They are just following them to collect their money, including this Melaye, is to get money from ATIKU. I don't think he really loves ATIKU. My advice to the G5 is don't end your political career because of an inordinate ambition and capricious manifestation that will yield no result. If they take that step, it will be the last kick of a dying horse. It cannot be. All right? It cannot be. This is Nigeria. Meanwhile, the Igbo International Christmas Retreat slated for Umuahia is an event organized by the Igbo think tank and Nzokondi Igbo, which is in its 4th edition, themed Indigbo yesterday, today, and tomorrow, with a sub-theme Indigbo in Geopolitics of Nigeria, the case of 2023. Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Professor Mba Madubuike Ezibe, told journalists in Umuahia that the event would be enriched with timely and educative lectures by sound experts and will be attended by Igbos at home and in diaspora. Wow. So it was this Nzokondi Igbo that is being put together and to hold at Umuahia, and the G5 governors have been nominated to participate. That is where this thing is coming from. Okay, but we know that currently the G5 governors are in London trying to make decision of whom they have to support. So when they come back from their London trip is when they will attend this Nzokondi Igbo in Umuahia. And this is where ATIKU is speaking through his spokesperson in the person of Senator Dino Melaye that they should not attempt to dump him for any other presidential candidate because that will end their political careers. Is that true? All right. Let's look at WIKE. Where does he stand? So WIKE is not going to be the president. All right. But WIKE probably he might go for Senate, or probably wouldn't want to go to anywhere again and to remain political godfather in the River State. So what again is his interest? All right. Then if you look at other governors like Samuel Otom of Benue State, who is actually wanting to go for Senate still under the PDP, if he fails to support ATIKU of PDP, it means that the whole PDP in Benue State will not support his ambition. Is that what it means? Because he might still win. Again, I know that the PDP is always looking for a way to punish the G5 governors, but again, that's a delicate move because this punishing and then suspending these 5 governors is suspending 5 states out of the 6 states from PDP, and that will reduce PDP chances of winning going further. So it's as complex as that. So it's an action that they really need to think very well before they take, to avoid making a very big mistake. Okay, so let's see the comment people are saying here. What goes around comes around. So what are those things that comes around? G5 governors cannot stop Atiku Abubakar presidency. Well, let's see how that goes. Atiku is going nowhere. All right, why are people disturbing themselves? Okay, because Atiku it's going to be difficult for Atiku no matter how famous he is, because already from the revelation gotten from Basanjo about the persons of Atiku, he cannot move further. I know he has a lot of money to spend and is desperate to be there because he wants to register his name as Nigerian president, but let's see how he's going to do that. That is sure. The only way to dump you and improve on their political career is by supporting Peter Obi of Labour Party. Peter Obi is the candidate for Nigeria. And sure, obviously Peter Obi has over 50% to 60% of Nigerian votes already from this moment. Obi can't win in the north. That's what somebody is saying. So don't think he has a chance. Igbos don't know how to play politics. Can you imagine? Are you sure Igbos don't know how to play politics? Okay, let 2023 come, then we'll know. Igbos know how to play politics, but the problem of Igbos is their independent spirit, their Republican spirit, that's all. They are Republicans, that's true. Okay, that's a good one, that their Republican spirit is the big problem they have. All right, so there are a lot of other comments, but time will not permit us to go through all of them. But what is happening here is that ATIKU is saying if the G5 governors, including WIKE, dumps him for any other presidential candidate, that will end their political career, and that is more of a threat than an advice. It means that whatever the G5 governors are doing is really impacting on PDP, both physically and psychologically. It's impacting on PDP. It's impacting on the campaign process for Atiku Abubakar. And Atiku is also trying to summon courage as a man, but inwardly I know he's feeling frustrated by the activities of these 5 governors. They are like rebellious governors of the party. Okay, the only question people are asking here, so what is WIKE's interest? So it does WIKE is if WIKE supports what is his name, TINUBU, all right, for 2023. So what does that tell us? It's again not being fair to Nigerians, because that is Muslim ticket, and that has issue with that, coupled with the issues around TINUBU that are unresolved. Also coupled with the issues around Shetima and Boko Haram in the north that are also unresolved. Okay. The second question is, what of if at this moment now PDP decide to drop Iyorchia Ayu and put him, WIKE, as the chairman of the party? Does it mean that he's going to support Atiku to take over? That is supporting another Fulani to take over 8 years after Buhari as a Fulani. That will also hit the G5 governors and hit WIKE very hard, because nobody is going to accept that. Okay, so already it's a big dilemma that is going to be difficult for them to resolve. The only way for them to resolve it is to support Labour Party, and that is all. Support Labour Party, and then Nigeria can move forward. Okay, support Labour Party, and then they themselves can also secure their future as well. Because first of all, supporting TINUBU is not going to work for Nigerians, and then supporting Atiku, if Iyorchia Ayu eventually drops off, is also not going to help Nigerians, and nobody wants to see that. So the only third option left is to support Peter Obi, which I think that is what they have to do. All right. So thank you for listening. That is what Atiku is saying, or the threat that Atiku is issuing to the G5 governors. If they dump him for any other political presidential aspirant, then that will be the end of their political careers.